Hey guys, and welcome to another video. I've been seeing a lot of videos lately of people saying that car companies don't listen to us, that car companies are over customers, that they're killing off all the cars that we just love, that car companies are just over their customers. I know that's a big thing to say, but hear me out for a sec. How many times have you seen a car video or a car guy that just says, "This doesn't feel like the old model. It doesn't drive like I wish it would. It doesn't have the power that I wish this car had. I wish this car would start after 3 weeks of owning it." I get it, owning a new car should be the peak of experience when you get something new. But then you gotta remember, most people that own vehicles have owned them for 5 to 10, maybe even longer years, and they're finally upgrading to a new car. And then you gotta remember that most people don't even look up the videos of the cars. Everyday people don't really care. Normal customers won't care. They'll just go, "Oh, I like this car, it drove nice," and they'll buy it off the lot. Well, us car guys will go, "Oh, if this had a better engine, if this was a different brand, I would definitely get this car." Because when you're a car guy, you'll look up every spec sheet, every video, every review before you look at maybe buying a new car. And when I say maybe, I mean maybe buy a new car, because half the time you're literally just looking at what cars you can get when they're on the used market. And that's even if you're looking at the car before it's been on the used market. Most of the videos you see nowadays are older cars that are maybe 15, nearly 20 years old, and you're like, "Oh, is this a good purchase now?" So when I say that car companies are over the customer, I don't mean the everyday customer. I mean the car guy customer. I mean the car guy that will go, "Hey, if this had a different engine, if it had a turbo, if it didn't cost as much, I would get this car." Because let's face it, if you're watching this video, you've probably watched a whole bunch of car videos just before getting here. And I feel like I can say this because for me, it's actually true. I don't remember the last time I looked at a new car and was like, "Oh, I'm really excited for this to come out because I want to get it." I've looked at the prices and I've been like, I can't wait for this to become a used car and hopefully it loses its value. But we're car guys. We're going to want a car to be perfect out of the box. And for most people, that means they want a manual, they want it to be stupid fast, but stupid cheap. But the thing is, car manufacturers know that most car guys are literally just all talk. They can make the perfect car that you want, but it costs $100,000. And you know what's going to happen? You can't afford it, so you can't get it. I've heard rumors about the new Toyota 86, for example. It's finally going to be 300 horsepower and have a turbo, but also the price is probably going to be a lot more than people will be willing to pay. But again, Toyota also know that some people don't want to buy the car because it has a Subaru engine in it. So we see the dilemma. Car companies know the truth. They know that a car guy can be like, "I want it to be manual, I want it to be this, blah, 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 blah." But at the end of the day, if they don't have the funds to buy it, they won't buy it. I feel like another good example of this would be the Honda Civic Type R. Why is this a good example? The good example is because it's a manual only car. It takes away the ability for most people to drive this car because you can only get it in a manual. If they finally release this car in an automatic only trim, so many people would be like, "Oh, it lost its respect. It isn't what it used to be. It used to be a driver's car." But if they're like, "Oh, it's also all-wheel drive and it has a big turbo and makes 600 horsepower, I feel like a lot more people would be like, "Oh, okay, I'm interested," but it's still not the driver's car it is because it's not a manual. Car companies know that we want fast cars, but they also know if they jack up the prices and they do the things that we want them to do to cars, that 90% of the people that say they want it because blah 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 will not be able to afford the cars. And car companies know this, and so do I. So I feel like the real question is, why are car companies killing off the cars we love? Well, to me, I think it's simple. They're not killing them off. They're getting rid of them because they know that people will be waiting to buy them in the used market. And that's what I think people forget about, is the used market and how widespread and how large it is for a car community to have. I mean, seriously, half the cars that you see today are probably used cars that people have bought from the second, third, or fifth owner. And especially when you see cars at car shows, you know that they've been loved and worked on. Half of them probably don't even have the same engine in them that they came from with factory. And every car manufacturer knows that the aftermarket exists. But what I think happens is most people see that on YouTube, someone gets a new car and they go, "I'm going to get coilovers, I'm going to get a new turbo kit, I'm going to do this to this brand new car." But realistically, Not a lot of people are going to do that to a brand new car. Car companies really do get over people being like, we want the moon, but we can't afford it, but can you do it anyway? Because everyone wants a 500 horsepower car for 20 grand, but that's not going to be happening in this day and age unless you go used. And half the time when you go used on a 500 horsepower car, it's been flogged to shit and it's probably going to break eventually. So every time I see these videos of them going, oh, they're killing off this car, they're killing off that car, it's yes, the cars are on its course. It's the market is you can't afford it, and the people that can afford it have bought the car. And when they sell the car because they want something new and shiny, that's when the car guy will come in and take the car that is new to me. So the next time you see a video and a guy's like, oh, they're killing off this car, they're killing off that car, just remember that most of the cars that you actually love are probably used cars and have been around for 20, 30 years. They've just got the same nameplate. They may not have the same nostalgia feeling as they do, but that's it. It's nostalgia feeling. So at the end of the day, don't think that car manufacturers are killing off every car that we love. It's they're either going to bring out a new car and you'll fall in love with that, or you're going to wait 10, 15 years and you'll be like, hey, I remember this car, I really liked it, and now I can actually afford it. So thank you for watching the video, and don't forget to like and sub. Thank you.